Well, we want to address a few things about Owen Lars, and the first thing is, did Luke Skywalker know that Owen Lars was his step uncle? Did Luke know that Owen was Anakin's stepbrother? And I just answered my question because obviously Luke would notice that while his last name is Skywalker, while his dad's last name was Skywalker, Owen's last name is Lars. So obviously, having two different last names, they would just be means that they are most likely stepbrothers, so Luke would have pieced it together even if he hadn't been told. And I'm sure Owen gave him some stories. Like he probably didn't tell Luke everything because first of all he doesn't want Luke to know everything because he wants to keep Luke safe. And secondly, Owen doesn't know Anakin that well. The only thing Owen knows about Anakin is from that one time he met Anakin in Attack of the Clones, and that was pretty much it. And I'm sure Owen would have heard some things about Anakin from Shmi, so I'm sure Luke would know a little bit about that. So, yeah, that's my thought. So Luke probably knew that Owen and Anakin were stepbrothers, but I mean, Owen is still his uncle, so albeit step uncle, but still their family. So I don't think it would have really mattered much to Luke. And secondly, what about Klieg Lars? When did Klieg Lars die? And I'm assuming that Klieg Lars probably died at some point during the Clone Wars, because when we see Owen and Beru at the end of Revenge of the Sith, it's just the two of them. Klieg Lars is not there, so he's probably dead, or maybe he's inside because he's missing a leg and so he can't really stand. So maybe he spends most of his time inside. So I wonder, did Klieg know Luke? Did he get to raise Luke a little bit for the first few years? And another theory I want to throw out is Beru was probably not able to have children, seeing as how they don't have any children of their own. So maybe it would have been interesting though if Owen and Beru had been able to have children. Maybe if they had a daughter or some other kids, maybe Luke would have had some siblings to play with, and maybe they would have had another relationship. And obviously, it would have made things more sad if those siblings had also been killed by the Empire in A New Hope, so that would have been interesting. But yes, I think Klieg Lars would have loved Luke, and because Luke would be Shmi's grandson, so Klieg would have loved Luke, and it would have been pretty nice. What I want to see is, I would have wanted to see Leia spend some time on Tatooine and get to know the Lars family. Or what she could learn about them, because Lars family is dead. So I would have liked to see Leia spend some time on Tatooine and look through her father's aside. And I would have loved for Luke Skywalker to spend some time on Naboo, get to know his mother's side, maybe meet his mother's parents, maybe Luke would get to meet Padme's parents and Padme's sister and Padme's nieces and nephews. And yeah, so I would have liked to see Luke get acquainted with the Naboo side and Leia get acquainted with the Tatooine side. Now, a final thought. From what we understand, Owen Lars believes that Anakin Skywalker was just killed during the Clone Wars, and he blames Obi-Wan Kenobi for it. Owen has no idea that Anakin Skywalker is actually Darth Vader and all that stuff. So even from the little bit that Owen knows, he realizes that Luke is in incredible danger. So Owen Lars is very smart, because even though he doesn't even know that Anakin is Darth Vader, he still realizes that, hey, Luke is in danger. And he's very smart. He's so smart enough that he can just piece that together in a snap of a finger. So Owen's impressive. Now, when Owen Lars and Beru Lars died, oh, by the way, does Beru Lars also hate Obi-Wan Kenobi? I'm guessing no, because she took Luke from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and she seemed to be smiling at Obi-Wan Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith, or she seemed to have a nice expression on her face. So I'm guessing she didn't hate Obi-Wan Kenobi too much, although it's possible that, although she also seems to want to keep a distance from Obi-Wan Kenobi, because she probably also sees Obi-Wan Kenobi as being dangerous. Now, what I also want to say is the actors for young Owen and old Owen, they look pretty similar. They look similar enough. So it's pretty impressive. I guess it wasn't intentional, but maybe it was a little intentional, but they do look pretty similar, so that's nice. And I'm going to assume that Darth Vader probably has no idea that Owen Lars and Beru Lars were killed. I mean, I'm sure he found out later that they were the ones who raised Luke, but I don't think Darth Vader knew it when they were killed because, you know, they were just being killed as collateral damage because, to put it harshly, they were being killed as collateral damage because they were hiding they had the droids in their possession at one point. So yes, that's all I have to say about Owen Lars. I'm sure Owen maybe told Luke a few things about Shmi Skywalker. I mean, I would hope he did. And I'm sure Luke would know that Shmi was buried on Tatooine, and he would probably just go to her grave sometimes, maybe. And of course, he would know that she was killed by Tusken Raiders, so he would know to be careful around Tusken Raiders and all that. So maybe that's why Luke knew that Tusken Raiders were dangerous. I don't know. It's ironic though, because Tusken Raiders almost killed Luke Skywalker, and they're the same ones, I mean, not the same tribe, but the same species that killed his grandmother Shmi. So Luke was almost killed in that way, but Obi-Wan was there to save him.